Hello everyone, this is Logan and welcome to Drawn by Logan. This is my very first video on, general concept art and character design. Now, I really want to get into that business. It seems really fun. I love drawing. I've drawn ever since I was, just little, and I just wanted to try it out. I got the tablet I'm using is a it is a Huion Canvas Pro. No, Huion Canvas Gen 13. It's a very good one. And I'm really putting it to the test in this video just by drawing and doodling and making some little characters. As you could see here, I'm already in the concepting phase, coming up with different little designs. These are all just from imagination. I really like this one, the face and in the wall. It kind of reminds me of Star Wars. You probably know that if you watch it. So far, we have only 5 designs. I'm working on the 6th one. It's, in terms of creativity, I try to find as much enjoyment from media and other video games, movies, television. I love horror, like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, all of those scary, The Thing, David Lynch, everything. I just love all those, Guillermo del Toro, all those creative visionaries. I strive to be like them. Just putting my stuff out here it's a step in the right direction. Now, you'll notice that I'm not the best at coloring. I'm still learning a little bit about coloring and trying to get all those values correct and down. It's not my strong suit. And this is a new medium for me. I'm so used to pen and paper, physical pen and physical paper, that I've gotten too comfortable with it. That's why this is more of a sort of exploration of things. I am, going out of my comfort zone. Now, this design, I was really proud of it. I label the ones on the top just as baseline, just to get my ideas going. The ones at the bottom are a lot more detailed, as you'll see. The one thing I am very good at is anatomy. I would say I'm pretty decent at finding or giving a general idea of certain anatomical forms, because I have a lot of Bridgman anatomy books. I recently, for Christmas, got a couple of drawing from imagination or sketching from imagination books, which both include sketching from imagination creatures and sketching from imagination characters. Brilliant books. I highly recommend. I also got a composition book for inkers and comic book artists. It's always good to have a book like that, especially if I do eventually dive into one of these. Oh, and take a look at that design. The two little like Queen of Hearts design there. Brilliant. I love it so much. This one, not so much. It's okay. It's okay. But as I was saying, I love those books. Highly recommend just getting any book if you're starting off as an art. Just get any of those types of books and I think you'll be set. Now, here is where I take the design, the larger design on the left. That is what I'm going with. It's just so cool. See a little check mark right there. And I'm going to start sketching with, there's this brush that I saw. You might see it. I'm just testing it out here because it looked a lot different than it did in the video. And I was saying, is this the real brush? And looking back, yes, it is the real brush. It's a brilliant brush. And without it, I probably would have lost inspiration to do this and just, went to do something else. Oh, speaking of something else, yes, I also make music. I love making music. It's my other favorite hobby. I'd say I'm pretty good at it too. I try to be a jack of all trades. Now, I'm just sketching very roughly the sort of in this very light blue. It's very hard to see. I should have really thought about that. But just for a general viewing experience. But just getting, you don't really need to see that. You're just getting the general. I'm just getting the general ideas and the forms and the suggestions down. Coming up with new design implementations on the fly, like these weird, creepy hand type things. I love it. It is so really good. I love it. I love it so much. And I decided to make the little lines on the edge more like a rib cage, because I love unnecessary rib cages in my drawings. It's always so fun. And just, and it kind of isn't anatomically accurate. It's very, weird. It's odd. Now you're gonna notice a lot of zooming in. I apologize for that. That's just how I work. Now I'm actually starting with line work and getting the just the raw details down. The detailing phase is probably my favorite. I love coming out like with unique, weird, nasty little details that just really push a drawing from being, oh, this is cool, to wow, that's messed up. That's crazy. I want to see more of this guy. Like, for example, the little X cross in the mouth is just, oh man, I love it. It's so gnarly, and you wouldn't really think of something that looked like that. Like, you wouldn't think that would be a shape for a mouth, but it is. And this is just a really cool drawing. A little neat sketch, just, into my messed up mind. A little deep dive into my head, Now, I don't really know. Like, I was drawing a spine, but I'm not really proud of it. It doesn't really register spine to me. It just looks like a series of, those little tubes that you squish them up and they make a little sound. And then when you pull them apart, it makes an even funnier sound. You probably know what those are. I'll probably put it on screen. But it kind of reminds me of that, and I'm kind of not happy about it. But, I make a change, like right here, I decided, okay, I want to make it bleed into this sort of pelvis type area. I don't know what it is. It loops around. It's just a suggestion. I don't know what it is. That's a lot of what my drawings are. It's just unknown and weird and surreal. Definitely this is something I would see in Hellraiser. Very Cenobite-esque design. Oh, I'm just looking over there. Well, it's and I always love those designs. They're always so cool. What is it, Clive Baker? Yeah. He's very good at what he does. Now, here you can see that the top of the head are actually two giant halves of the brains, and what I'm working on here. I've never drawn a brain before, but in my head I was thinking, hey, it looks like it. I would say that's the brain. Might not be Einstein's, but it's something. Now what I'm working on here is just outlining is kind of worrisome for me, because I try not to erase at all during outlining, because it just ruins it. You just do it over and over again, and I would suggest not using an eraser, because when you don't use an eraser, you feel more comfortable in your line, in your line weights, in your hand movements, in your techniques. I grip a pencil like a weirdo. I do not hold a pencil normally, like a normal person. Instead, I hold it like I'm trying to strangle it with my fingers. That's the best way I can put it. I don't hold a pencil like a regular person. So I've developed a weird way of, shading and rendering in pencil. And I will do some drawings, some live action, because this is all digital. Live action drawings of me on my drawing tablet, or on my drawing pad, my sketch pad. Sorry. My pencil and my bomb ass sharpener that I got for Christmas. Shout outs to my cousin. Wow, I love that thing. It is amazing. I don't even know what brand it is. I really got to look up the stuff before I do the voiceover, but wow, it is brilliant. Now, what I'm doing here, sorry for that tangent, is that I'm adding this sort of like weird skin, because webbed skin or just general like sinewy viscera like right here, it's always cool, like a cool little visual detail. It's like, is this thing fully skeletal? I mean, obviously it isn't. I mean, look at the body, look at the shape and everything. It's not quite there. Can't quite tell. That's what I love about designs like this. You can't quite tell what it is. Now, you could definitely say these fingers were sort of inspired by, a lot of the weird drawings of... I honestly don't know. I don't, not sure what I was inspired by in this drawing. I just drew. A lot of I don't really use a lot of reference. A lot of my stuff comes from imagination, which is good for the mind, but ooh, look at that clean line work. Wow. Yeah, it's nice. Now, what I'm doing here is just blocking out deep shadows, because I am going to render this and color it to the best of my ability. But for now, I'm just going to find where all the parts would be the blackest and fill them in, like in between the ridges of the spine, the inside, behind the brain and the head, the brain itself, all the deep ridges that you see. I'm shading that and getting everything done, getting everything nice and contrasted. I do eventually tweak the contrast levels in this artwork, so prepare for that. It might come sooner than later, I don't know. So far, throughout my process of this piece, it took me about 1 hour and 36 minutes. But this is like probably 25 for you guys. It's quite... I felt quite... I don't know. I felt a little like melancholic at the end of it, because I was really proud of it, and you'll see soon that my color values were really unique, and just generally, like, I was really proud of that. But I felt like I could have done a little bit more. That's what every artist feels, I believe. They feel like they could have done just a little bit more. I feel like that every day. And wow, okay, I'm finished with the line work now. I'm just going over in Photoshop. Now I'm going to start painting generally just putting in the base colors. But at first, I'm gonna make sure everything is selected so nothing bleeds off of the image, because I'm still a little bit worried about everything bleeding off and making the background muddy. A really quick job. Actually, it took a minute for the brain, but really quick job for you viewers out there. And now I'm just working on lessening the values, because the duller it is, the more desaturated it looks. I don't know, it looks more scary. Now, looking at this post during editing, this looks a lot like something from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I get a lot of that sort of vibe and feel from it. It's very weird, very surreal. But I had a blast drawing it. Now I wanted to make the bones not bone color here because, you know, white bones, it doesn't really work. I wanted to make it a little more fleshy. And that's what bones are. They're an off-white. They're not pure white. They may look pure white in like diagrams, but they aren't. It's actually, I mean, if you take a bone out of a body, it's gonna look a little reddish because, well, you took it out of the body, and it's probably not gonna look the best. So in this case, I decided, okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more of a red hue to it, and that is the brain and the bones done. The bony appendage is done. Now I'm working on the sort of fleshy. The body is going to be a different color of flesh. This sort of neck, I want it to be lungs. I was really thinking of like lungs. This sort of weird like neck lung thing. That's red. The sinews and the connections between the bones are also red. I'm going to tone it down a little bit because it's way too bright and vibrant. You'll see, now I didn't color that part because that's where it messed up. That's where the sort of selection, the auto selection in Photoshop messes up. And, you know, can't have it all. Now this is where I am tweaking and I'm finding the color for the body. I chose a pink. You know, pink. What? Why pink, man? Pink sucks. Well, a pink in this context is pretty gnarly. You wouldn't want to see pink in your body, even though there might be pink in your body. Pink is pretty scary in this context. Is this guy fresh? Is he fresh? Is he rotting? I mean, obviously not. He looks pretty fresh. Is he having a good time? I don't know. You tell me. I want to hear what you guys down in the comments, what you guys think of this guy. I'm curious. I want to know. Now I'm just going through all of my different layers. Now I am going in and I am fixing the spots that I forgot to fix. That includes the red flesh sinew between the arms and the right leg. Now that is a pretty good base color drawing. And I'm going to move on now on separate layers. Eventually I forget and I do the rendering and shadows on the same layer, but you know, you'll see that when it happens. But I'm gonna make a new layer for the brain, and I decided this is gonna be the easiest part to render, which for a lot of people isn't. But you know, I'm being a little devious, a little bit of a rascal here. I'm just shading the parts that I think would be in the most shadow. I imagine the light being on the upper right part of this creature and have it shining down, you know, sort of like a soft light, like sunlight. Not too harsh, not too soft, just general. I imagine this monster standing in this white void, you know, like I said, I'm still learning about color. Color is definitely something I need to work on, but everyone needs to work on something. Now, I think what makes me stand out as an artist, though, like the fact that I need to learn coloring, is that I have pretty good designs. Like, if you show this to someone and be like, hey, what do you think of this design? They'd probably be like, ew, what the hell? This looks nasty. Get this away from me. This looks like it'll eat me alive. And, well, but seriously, all seriousness, I think this is a pretty unique design. Like, I'd want to see this in a movie, albeit a little toned down, but you know, I'd want to see it. I'd be pleasantly surprised to see this crawl out of like a weird hole or something. It's very, 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 very interesting to think about. And now, so as you can see, I'm sort of shading. I like this. I like the sort of color palette I'm using for the red flesh. It really brings out that sort of dirty look. It's just a fun time. Now I am working on the main bulk of the body. This is going to be, I desaturated it a little bit because it looked too bright pink. This guy isn't Barbie. This guy's probably the opposite of Barbie. He's Barbie's nightmare. I think that's what he is. So I don't want to be too saturated. I don't want him to be too colorful and bright. I want him to be a little dirty and dark. And I'll fix the values as you see at the end. But, rendering, it's always fun. It's always neat for me. Just going in smaller details here and there. I really like the eyes, like looking closer at the face. Really like the eyes and the mouth. And now I'm just, working on the spine. I really like the bones and the spine. I think that's my favorite part of this artwork, is how the texture comes together, how all the especially from afar, from this little screen in Premiere Pro, it looks really good. Really nice. And, everything just comes together so cohesively, and I'm so proud of it. That's why I wanted to share. Whenever I draw something good, I want to share it. And shout outs to the person who made this brush. Really good brush. And I watched a video on it. It was really, really good. And it was free. So that's how I was able to get it. Because I don't have any money right now. I'm not going to keep that in. So right now, the bones are really, really nice. I really like that. Just checking if every layer is its correct layer, because I hate when that happens. And you'll see on the side there's little like splotches, and I'm just noticing it now. It's not particles on my screen. You see that little line there? Just horrible attempt at specular highlights. You see those little lines on the side around him? Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of those. They were bothering me. I had to go through every single layer. It's not as bad. That's like 27 or 30 layers. It's just like 12. It's not that bad, including like background layers and the blue sketch layer. Now I'm just going through and like tweaking the hue, saturation, levels, brightness, contrast, everything, because I want it to look good. I want it to look that sort of final touch. Now I will get better at this. This is just, hey, what does this look like? How is it gonna look like later? And I kind of like this sort of more vibrancy, but I decided to go with the muted colors because I feel like it fit the character more. Feel like it fit the character better. I'm just going through making my final little adjustments and checking if everything's good. I hope everyone had a wonderful time viewing this drawing. I will be making more. And, I wish everyone a wonderful day, and see ya.